Hey Soul Family, welcome back to the channel. This is the White Feather Tarot, and in today's reading we're taking a look at what you need to hear right now. To do this reading, I will be pulling out 4 cards for you to choose from, but of course if you prefer to pick your piles using your zodiac signs, then in that case the signs for this pile, oh my god, I went on to automation mode for a second there. You'll find the timestamps for the zodiac sign picking process in the description box. Okay, so these are the 4 cards for today's reading. Let's explore them together and see what they are. For pile number 1, you have the dance of creation. For pile number 2, you have death. And for pile number 3, you have green walks. And for pile number 4, you have the rainbow bridge. So take a look at which of these 4 piles you're the most drawn to. I do know that some of you prefer to pick your piles using crystals, so before we get into that part of the introduction, let me add these right now. There we go. So for pile number 1, you have the rose quartz. For pile number 2, you have the fluorite point. For pile number 3, you have the sunset Labradorite. And for pile number 4, you have the rainbow aura quartz. And this is what your crystal looks like. So take a look at which one of these 4 piles you're the most drawn to, and this will be the pile for you here today. As I always encourage you, in case you feel drawn to more than one pile, maybe even all of the piles, trust your intuition and hear what it is that you are meant to receive in today's reading. Once you're ready, you'll find the timestamps down in the description box. Click on your times and I will see you in your readings. Please note that in a moment I am about to assign different zodiac signs to each pile. And so if this is something that you do not prefer, please pause the video and take as much time as you need. But if you prefer to pick your piles using your zodiac signs, then as you know, this part of the introduction was created specifically for you guys. Oh, I have 2 in my hands. I'm going to honor that. So what I'm going to do now after the shuffling is draw out 3 zodiac signs for each pile. Right, so for pile number 1, the sign, whoa, it's pile number 2. For pile number 2, the sign is Virgo. We're going to honor that. Going back to pile number 1, the first sign is Taurus. Second sign is Sagittarius. And the third sign is Cancer. For pile number 2, the signs are Virgo, Leo, as well as Aries. And for pile number 3, the signs are Capricorn, Scorpio, as well as Gemini. And for pile number 4, the signs are Aquarius, Pisces, as well as Libra. So, my dear soul family, these are the zodiac signs and their association to each of the piles in today's reading. Please feel free to pick your pile or piles using your sun, moon, or rising. I highly recommend you check out the 3. Alternatively, you can pick your piles using other placements in your chart, like your Mars, your Venus, or maybe even your Jupiter, depending on what you prefer and also the intention of the message that you want to hear. Perhaps you want to know more about love or work and you want to use your Venus sign, or maybe you want to get more energy to do something and perhaps you feel like this is the message that you're going to hear and you want to pick using your Mars. It's really all up to you and how you're drawn to pick the piles. These are just different ways to make it more enjoyable and easy for you to pick your piles. And once you're ready, you'll find the timestamps down in the description box. Click on your times and I will see you in your readings. Hi, pile number 1. Welcome to your reading. Today we're taking a look at what you need to hear right now. Your crystal is the beautiful rose quartz. Your card is the Dance of Creation card. And if you've picked your pile using your zodiac signs, then in that case, the signs for this pile are Taurus, Sagittarius, Cancer, and Cancer. Today's 3 zodiac signs per pile. Welcome to your reading, guys. If these are not your zodiac signs, as I always advise you, please don't worry about it. It's just another way for others to pick their piles as well. Follow your intuition. And if you later want to watch the pile of your zodiac sign, you feel like you want to do that as well, then please feel free to check it out as well. Okay, so let's take a look at what it is that you need to hear right now, my dear pile number 1. Let's check out your cards. So the main card here, must have said car for something. I'm going to note that in your reading. Maybe it's movement. Perhaps you do have the Dance of Creation. In any case, the 4 keywords on this card are versatile. Can you see your card? Oh, so sorry. There we go. Versatile, good memory, problem solver, very witty. Ooh, first of all, you must be a very smart person. And it looks like first of all, your message that you are meant to hear today is really focused on your intelligence, it seems. Is definitely something that you need to know about or acknowledge, or perhaps it is inviting you to use your intelligence to do something. The only way we're going to find out is to reveal the rest of your cards. So let's explore them. For versatility, you have the card, the 2 of Swords, as well as the Dagaz rune. Okay. All right, so for the good memory part of your reading, you have the 4 of Wands. And you also have the rune Ansuz. Very cool. Okay. Maybe this is... Okay, hold on. With problem solver, you have the card, the 6 of Pentacles, as well as the Nothiz rune. And finally, on the very witty part, you have the card, the 7 of Cups, as well as the Gebo rune. The Gebo rune, gift. Maybe you're gifted because of the 7 of Cups here. Maybe this is definitely talking about how you're gifted. And let's see what the whole message is. I want to start out with the Dance of Creation. How about we pull out the tarot guidebook for this specific card and see what it gives us? It's probably going to give us a nice jump start to what you need to hear, because I feel it being your significator card, it's definitely going to tie all of this together. So the Dance of Creation. Let's read just a little bit. It says, this image shows a creative being. I told you! So, one of those energies I call Deva. Yes, the Deva. The Dance of Creation, the Deva, exactly. Holding and conducting the elements as they build into the peak of the phenomenal energies. Holding and conducting the elements as they build into the peak of the phenomenal energies, needed to create new universes, stars, galaxies. So this is the creative energy, the energy of creation. Exactly, when the Devas dance the energy, dance the, what was it called? When the Devas dance the, I think the dance of creation. This is how the souls, in fact, are created, and the universe and everything else. So this is like you perhaps being super plugged in to the energy of creation in this pile. The peak of the phenomenal energies needed to create new universes, stars and galaxies, or a new butterfly, or a new being in a different dimension. Absolutely. This is a very creative pile, definitely, and it's inviting you to use that gift. I noticed it right away when I saw the Gebo rune, the rune of gift. The Gebo rune is like being gifted from an abundant source, because remember when I told you guys about the Gebo rune, of how it represents how the kings in the ancient worlds in Norse times would gift their people from their treasures and their luscious lifestyles and their food, because it was a way of giving to the people, for them to always love them, for them to always want them as their leaders, and for them to keep their place. So I have this strong feeling of a gift that's going to give you back so much. You are very gifted, specifically very, very gifted in terms of being a super creative person. You have wild imagination. In fact, the 7 of Cups is associated with building castles in the sky. You can go up there, like way up there, to see the unseens, up in the clouds, up in the universe. And you are able to tap into this creative energy and bring magic into the world. Very smart person. So since that is the case, what is going on with versatile? Versatile means different ways of something, versatility, maybe different ways of doing something, different ways of presenting something. Versatility. Two of Swords and the Dagas rune. Transformation and escapism. #escapism. Maybe you are not seeing a way out of something. Reminds me of the Jedi, doesn't it? Well, hold on. It says, when I'm in my own world playing beat sword, I can forget about everything else. It's my little oasis. You see, yes, I am seeing that you are currently perhaps not seeing a way out of something going on in your life. And you have the simulators on. What are they called? Forgot. How can I forget that? But anyways, the headset on, you know, reminding us of the matrix versus the real creative energy. You are not seeing a way out of your situation because perhaps you are so stuck in the 3D world, as we always tend to. We are so invested into our world, we forget the real world, which is the one you're standing in right there. You know, imagine if you had a headset on and you're playing this game. Imagine after like hours and hours and hours, wouldn't you forget little by little about the real world that you're living in when you're so invested? Like, imagine I put this headset on your face and that's all you can see for a day, 2 week. Imagine I do it for a month and that's all you can see. What if your mom comes into the room and says, "Hey, Emily," and you go, and that's because you're so in that new world that you absolutely would forget about the real world that you're living. And imagine we've been doing that as human beings for years and years and years and years. And so we absolutely forget about the real world. Yeah, the real world where we belong. And so much so that we forget to use its rules, its tools. We stop believing in its magic. We stop believing in what it can do. You know, this is so true even in the world, paradoxically, that we live in. If we put on the headset, the type of things people are starting to discuss about the future, of how there will be products of people buying things for thousands and thousands of dollars, and we're already seeing it now, to decorate their own spaces inside the headset, and they would invite each other into their worlds inside the headset, and that a lot of people would be spending a lot of their money into the headset rather than the real actual world. And that's like a very quick example that this card showed us of what it means to be so sucked into our lives at the moment that we forget that we are in essence spiritual beings and there are spiritual laws, and this is the real life, right? So long story short is what I'm trying to say is what you need to hear is that you are blocked and stuck because you forget who you are. You're forgetting who you are. You see all the purple here, the crown chakra. You're forgetting to connect to that creative energy. And it might sound crazy, but just as it would be crazy for that car game inside this girl's little world, if she stays in there too long, that she's so obsessed about going to this city. She loved how it looked like in that headset, not knowing that she could actually take the headset off, take the bus, take the car, and go to that city and actually enjoy it, and not be so obsessed about doing it from that limited place. All I'm trying to say here, that what I see in your cards are, don't forget your messages. Don't forget that you are a highly creative being. Don't get so much stuck into the limitation of this world. If you tap into that creative energy, it will, with the Daga's rune, transform your life. This is the energy that changes what you see in that headset in the first place. And so versatile is talking about how you are invited to be creative and to tap into that energy of thinking of other creative ways of how you can do and achieve or enjoy whatever this issue is, the very thing that you want, just doing it in another creative way. Your message that you need to hear is that you are absolutely capable of doing that and transforming this situation for yourself. The universe is your limit. There's no limit here. And you are so tapped in with the purple and the dance of the creation here. You're so tapped in. You can see perhaps more than what people can see. You can do miracles. You are described as very witty, very creative person, highly tapped in, and you are guided these days to use that creative energy to your benefit. You don't see a way out because you need sometimes to remove that headset or close your eyes and use your spiritual ears, use your spiritual eyes, use your spiritual mind to tap into other ways of doing it. And while looking inside this headset, it might feel like it's impossible to change. But when you do, in fact, close your eyes, you tap into the real world, you start, hearing your mother again, or hearing your siblings again, or hearing your partner again, or maybe your children again in the house, or hearing the wind outside, feeling the couch you're sitting in once again, and, starting connecting to the real world, you might go, oh, well, it's not just the game. I can do this, I can do that. And think outside of the box. Your fun doesn't end there. You can always take the headset off, go for a walk, enjoy real life, and come back when you're ready. So that's as far as I'm seeing what you need to hear. Let's continue. Oh, good memory and the Ansu's rune perhaps is talking about something you've already done in the past life, in your past life, for real here. Look, it says good memory, and then you've got the Ansu's rune with Odin's eye. The Ansu's rune is wisdom, it's Odin, it's God. So not only are you inspired by the energy of creation and that you will be greatly assisted to see what others do not see, but good memory and Ansu's are giving me this very strong idea that you've seen this before. You've done something close to it, or maybe you've done the very same thing in a past life, and I'm so sure about that. It's just that in this lifetime, with the Four of Wands, you're here to experience it in a more leveled up way. So whether this is a past life from your future, from your past, who knows? In this specific lifetime, maybe you have the tools or the right circumstances to be able to level up what it is that you're about to transform, or that creative energy that you've already used before in a past life. So it's like the training has been done in that creative field that you're so attuned to naturally. As a soul, you've done this before. You know how to connect easily to that creative energy. And in this lifetime, you have the right circumstances. Maybe you didn't finish this, whatever you wanted to complete in the past life, which happens sometimes. Your soul wanted to experience something. Maybe you've done what you needed to do mostly in that past lifetime, and in this lifetime it was the opportunity to take it to the next level, to do it in the way that your soul desires to create it and to experience it. And so in this phase of your life, it's going to be a very, very important phase, very important experience, very important soul mission that you are going to embark on if you just stop engaging with the limitations and the rules inside of the headset, and know that you are, as a person, super limitless, of course, and that if you just allow yourself and not refuse it because you've believed in the headset for so long and its rules, if you just allow to tap into that creative energy, you will see that you will have brilliant ideas, creative ideas, and energy that will flow to change this for you. And so, this is saying that you will find yourself tapping into that energy super easily. You will find yourself enjoying it, because the Four of Wands is a card of celebration, having fun as well. And it says, let's build a beautiful life together. You're going to enjoy your life, tapping it back into that energy, because this is what your soul actually came here to experience. So follow that vision, follow that feeling, follow that intuition, follow that creative energy. And you shall, with the Four of Wands, level up greatly in your physical life and in your spiritual life. There's a huge spiritual growth going on here in your reading. Very, very interesting message you're getting, my dear pile number 1. Wow. Okay, let's continue with your message and see the third part of your reading. You've got problem solver. And problem solver is really talking about how this is solving a huge problem in your life. You see, you've got the Nothi's rune. The Nothi's rune is a rune of what? Restriction, right? Constraint, a need. And right next to it is the Six of Pentacles, which is a card of generosity. You can even see, and it's a card of assistance, by the way. And you can see someone giving kindly from the fair trade that they've done to someone else. So I would say this is talking about how this creative energy, for a lot of you, is going to open up the gateways of generosity in that very resource or resources that you currently feel are restricted in your life. So let's say the resource that you need could be anything really. It could be wealth and money. It could be more time for yourself. It could be getting in touch with, like, having more, what is it called? Easy access to an actual resource, like healthier food, fresh air. I don't know. What are you feeling like you're restricted of? What type of energy or resource, to be quite specific, or resources do you feel like are currently quite limiting and you're being restricted of in your life these days? You want more of that energy? Tap into the energy of the creation, because with that energy you will finally be given so much of what you feel is restricted from you at the moment, what you need at the moment. So you feel like you're blocked out, you're so restricted. You see, restriction, that can absolutely transform, and you can get so much of that energy. What do you need in your life at the moment? What is it that your soul is craving for? Remember to listen to this energy, because it is giving you feedback about what your heart is desiring. Is it doing a job that you find creative because you're such a creative person? Is your job limiting you? Do you want more of that creative fun energy in your life? In fact, you know this quote that says, when your soul has left a place or a job or a relationship, your physical body should follow suit. And of course, it's all about the how, not the what. Remember, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. It's not what you wear, it's how you wear it. And so it's not about like getting up and quitting or just breaking up with someone and leaving. It is about how you think creatively and how to leave what your soul has already left, so you can follow suit and pursue that which means more to you. And it's okay to leave things that is making you die inside every day. Is it you genuinely needing free time? Is it you genuinely needing money? Perhaps you could be limiting yourself a little bit, thinking this is the only way. And while it's not wise to just get up and leave unless you can, it's how you do it that's important. It's that tapping into that creative energy that you have, because really here in this pile, you have no idea how much you are tapped, and you've done this before in a past life, and you're guided. What you need to hear is that you can absolutely change your reality. If you tap into that energy one more time, you think about the how, you'll find yourself there being given so generously of what you prayed for and wanted so much into your life. You are very witty, you're a very creative person, and you're gifted with that. You're gifted for a reason. Your soul came here to do that, and it's time for you to get into that energy, to tune into that energy. Your soul is already there. Follow suit wisely, and you shall be there too. Problem solver. You will get so much of what is being restricted on you now, and perhaps these are the very restrictions that are like stopping you from one way so that you finally open another way. Good memory, as mentioned, means you've done this before and you're just taking it up a notch or 1,000 notches up in this lifetime. Last thing I want to do is your guidance towards the how. Remember when we talked about the what and not the how? And I know your reading wants you to do it. You're such a creative person. But let's tap into this beautiful energy and at least give you a jump start. How can you apply this in your life? What are you guided to do exactly? The Lover's card. You also have the Chariot card. Oh. And you've got the 10 of Swords. Facing my fear of needles head on with some acupuncture today. Wish me luck. It's very clear, isn't it? I feel like you're afraid of something. Or maybe the 10 of Swords, you're in a lot of pain. Maybe, like the way this figure is lying down, you're so tired. You're in such pain, it's not easy to get up. In any case, whichever this is for you, it's very clear. It is saying that if you follow what you love with the Lover's card, it will give you that energy to get up and to move forward, because you will be enjoying this so much. And so I would honestly tell you, your reading is guiding you to just start. Not be afraid, because once you tap into that energy, it's just going to flow. It's going to bring so much fun into your life. You're going to love what you do. You're going to love these new steps that you take. Yeah, tapping into this creative energy is always so much fun, isn't it? It makes so much sense. And not being tapped into this energy leads to that sort of pain and tiredness. And you will be surprised to see that even though you feel this way, you tap it into that energy and bam, you're up, you're full of life, you feel creative, because I believe there's nothing more fun than that energy. It's even called the dance of creation. So yeah, bring back the fun and the celebration into your life. Do something that you enjoy today, and let that energy guide you out of one reality into the other. And my dear pile number 1, this is exactly what I see in your reading. I truly hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a reading that I upload. And my dear pile number 1, I'll catch you in the next reading. Bye. Hi, pile number 2. Welcome to your reading. Today, we're taking a look at what you are meant to hear right now. Your crystal is the beautiful Fluorite point. Your significator card is the Death. And if you've picked your pile using your zodiac signs, then in that case, the signs for this pile are Virgo, Leo, and Aries. Welcome to your reading, guys. As I always remind you, if these are not your zodiac signs, please don't worry about it. It's just another way for others to pick their piles as well. Follow your intuition. And if you later want to watch the pile that has your zodiac signs, please feel free to do that as well. Okay, so this is how we are going to do today's reading. Let me pull out a rune for each of these 4 squares. 1, 2, 3, and 4. There we go. So let's reveal your cards and see what it is that you need to hear right now. So this is what your card looks like. On one side it says social butterfly. Wow. On the other side it says charming speaker. Oof, you must be really loved socially, my dear pile number 2, or the people who get to know you really love you. And then you have say it softly. Okay. And on the far left you have smooth conversation. Obviously, your reading today is so focused on your conversation with someone or some people. Let's find out. Who would have known that the death card here is going to talk about something social? Very cool. Let's find out together what this is. And we will be reading the guidebook on this specific death card because you can see a portal here. There's a huge transformation that might be going on or something. Let's find out together. So, you've got, whoa, the Queen of Wands. Talk about you being charismatic. I mean, the Queen of Wands is the social butterfly of the tarot. Wow. Okay. And you have the rune Awaz. Very, very cool. Okay. Oh, hey. The Awaz rune is the rune of like something, either protection, but it also has to do with death, just like this death card. So it's gonna give us an idea of maybe your social life changing to something bigger. Let's find out. Who knows? On the side of charming speaker, you've got the 2 of Wands, and you've got the Peroth. The way this is written always confuses me. Let me go back to me. Peroth, exactly, just like what I said, the Peroth rune. Right? Because it says throw here, and it always confuses me. Right, on the side that it says say it softly, you've got the Queen of Wands. Interesting. Say it softly, because you know the Queen of Swords just says what needs to get said. She's honest, she's straightforward. And here you're guided to say it softly. So let's see what this is about. The Manaz rune. Very interesting. The Manaz rune is about interconnectedness or interdependentness. I mean, the cards are super connected, that's for sure. And you've got the 8 of Swords on the side of smooth conversation, right? And you've got the Thurisaz rune. And you know the Thurisaz rune is also sometimes seen as this gateway to go through, like this portal, to go from one world to another. What is this talking about? Where is the beginning of this? Are you dreading a specific conversation that you have to do these days? That could be for some of you. I more feel like it's a guidance for you to change your communication style or face a difficult conversation that you want to have with someone these days. Let's take a look at the Death card. I think it could tie it in all together for us. So that's the first card. The first spiritual journey, right? When we move to the afterlife, to the real place. So it says, most stories would probably choose to place death at the end. But in a deck of afterlife, that's exactly what I noticed here. It seems only right to have it as the beginning. So that's just the beginning. You're going through a huge transformational journey here, as I felt. Because that's the gateway. Yeah. Gateway to another world. I feel like you as a person, you're changing a lot these days. You're being depicted as the Queen of Wands. You shine so bright. I will continue this, but I just want to share what I'm seeing. You shine so bright. You're a natural speaker. You love connecting with others. You have this fun, magnetic energy around you with the Queen of Wands. This comes so naturally to you. You're full of fire. You're full of passion. And something about with the Awas rune, something about both death, the ending of something, but also about protection, because the Awas rune is also about protection. Perhaps this is talking about how you want to protect your energy. While it's awesome to be this vibrant, this strong, this social butterfly, this person who loves connecting with others, I feel like this is talking about the guidance of what you need to hear about protecting your energy these days, especially for some of you, towards an important conversation that you want to have or will be having with someone. To exude that energy, that's who you are, that's the energy. We all want to be the Queen of Wands. So that's awesome energy to have. But you want to balance it, it seems, with some form of protection. All right, let's continue reading here. It seems only right to have it as the beginning, the Death card in this deck. Here we see a person either on the verge of death or just over the borderline. Apparently, our body functions close down at different rates. Once the heart stops beating, blah, 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 respectfully, of course. It talks about how we're terrified, but how we will discover later those fears are based on our ignorance and fear of death and what might occur after. In this image, however, the person has been allowed to die naturally. In the background, okay, let's get to the important part. I don't want to waste your reading until, fortunately, it's not down to me. They say they themselves will see it in their life reviews. So behind the shades, the tunnel between lives is opening up. Though many people report it, it's not invariable, and some spirits, when death is too sudden or undesired, are too confused to move up into its embrace and stay close to their bodies. I feel like with the Eight of Swords and what we just read, you are almost being, how can I say this? You're gently being pushed to take a leap of faith, to do something outside of your comfort zone. Because what you need to hear here is that if you do take that risk, if you do take that leap of faith, that jump into an uncomfortable either social situation or conversation, that you will grow as a person exponentially. And maybe for some of you, you aren't yet social butterflies. And this is in fact talking about how you are unleashing your potential to become the best version of yourself when it comes socially, and becoming this social butterfly that also has that balance with the Awas rune in knowing how to have the strength to protect oneself. So The Peroth rune is associated sometimes with the unseen, the unknown. I really feel like you genuinely don't know which path to take, what direction to take when it comes to a specific type of conversation or a specific type of people that could be confusing you in your life at the moment. You're really at a point where you don't know what's going to happen with this conversation or how to go about with these types of people maybe. Although you are a charming speaker, you naturally are this social butterfly. It's just that maybe there are many things tying you down, preventing you from being the real you, to reaching your full potential. So imagine having that gift, but also being that charming speaker, but genuinely not knowing how to deal in this situation or with this person or with these people. You could be like a social butterfly. Maybe you're going to be speaking publicly. Like maybe you're afraid of that, or you have a presentation at work, or some form of situation that's genuinely standing in your way of being your full potential self. That is what I'm starting to be fully sure of in this reading. So your guidance that you need to hear here is, you're looking in the wrong direction. You're confused. You're like, should I say this? Should I say that? Should I do this? Should I do that? You're like, nothing's working. I genuinely don't know what to do. I've tried it all and I'm not seeing any results. You feel like maybe because it's not working to that degree, it's starting to become something that is so scary for you to do. Remember when we skipped over this part in the guidebook? Maybe it's becoming something, an experience that is so scary to you that you don't want to go through it. You don't want to know anything about it. And perhaps it reached a point where you are avoiding it. And now with the Eight of Swords, your mind is full of limiting beliefs that is preventing you from seeing your true self and who you really are. You are a charming person, but you feel like your tongue is tied, or your body language is tied, or you feel stiff. What is it called? Timid, very timid in this situation. And so all of this energy is so tied up when it comes to you approaching this situation. You know, it's like some people are so good socially, but when they encounter love, they feel that energy. Or the other way around. Some people are good with their lover and they're not good at making friends. Or it's not that at all. It could be public speaking. Some people are good. And sometimes it's the other way around. Like Michael Jackson he's the most famous person worldwide. Who doesn't know Michael Jackson? But he would be super shy when talking to other people. So all I'm trying to say is that you've got this strong power within you that at the moment is tied up. And you are guided to get into this energy because it's the very energy that will free you. It looks like a scary experience, but it will free you. It will end this torture once and for all. And the key secret here, you have the guidance on how exactly to apply. You're not just being asked to throw yourself into the fire without learning how to do it in a savvy way. Because what's the point of saying, hey, go, 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 without giving the instruction how to do it? And you do have beautiful instruction here on how to face this situation. And as mentioned, I was going to get there, but got lost in the other things. So as mentioned, you are so lost in the what when you're forgetting it's not about the what, it's about the how. Any of these techniques perhaps potentially has the what is it called? Has the potential for success. But it's not about the what. It's about the how to apply your charm when speaking. You know this. This is exactly. It's not what you say. It's how you say it. And in pile number 1, it wasn't even about conversation or anything. It's funny enough. Today's reading is so focused on the how and not the what. Although pile number 1's reading was totally different. But they also got this message, and you'll see clearly if you are drawn to pile number 1, also of not the what, but the how. So it's talking about, it's not which direction to take, but rather how to take the direction, how to drive the car. So long story short, what is it talking about? Say it softly. I feel like this is talking about, say it softly reminds me of calm. Because when you don't say things softly, you're so either agitated or you're so angry or scared. You're guided to be calm. And it's really the most important guidance in this whole situation. It's the savviness of how to go through this fire. To go through it with calm, as with everything in life. In any situation that we are intimidated by or afraid of, we are always guided to be calm, because that is the only way in which we can come out of the situation in the best way. So, what's the difference between calm Queen of Swords and rough Queen of Swords? It's exactly the difference between someone who is seen as garish and blunt, thinking that they're so good at saying the truth. It's like, hey, I'm just saying the truth, and not being appreciated for it. And someone who tells you the truth, but is very graceful in the way that they relay the truth to you. And so I feel that the guidance here in this specific situation, or any, not with a specific person, perhaps has to do more with your growth, is to stay true to yourself. Don't try to change yourself. Don't try to imitate other people's styles in dealing with the situation. Don't try to be someone else other than yourself with the Queen of Swords. Stay true to who you are. Because all said and done, when you stay true to who you are, you will stand out and realize the magic inside you. Like, imagine they discovered the most gorgeous girl in the world who doesn't even know how gorgeous she is, and she just wakes up like this. That's how she wakes up. And she's been watching a lot of YouTube videos, and she gets all this makeup, and she has fun with all of that. But she's so beautiful to the point where when she puts on this makeup, it actually starts taking away from her glow and her natural beauty. And so let's say they find out about her and they're like, oof, this girl's gonna work in Hollywood. They sign her up. And the makeup artists are like, no, she glows much more on camera than when we put the foundation. Her lip color naturally is much beautiful than any color that we put, because it radiates, because of this, because of that. I'm not a makeup artist. And while I love makeup and I love everything, I'm just trying to show you how sometimes you can be so blessed in something that when you makeup was created, when we look at that specific girl, makeup was actually created as an art form to come as close as what the girl already has in this example. So what am I trying to say? Your reading is saying that your energy is so bright. The way you do things is like the best way that it could be done when it comes to how you radiate your beautiful energy, the type of energy that exudes from you, the way you speak is already super charming. You are that epitome of that energy. Maybe you do not see that now, but that is the truth of your reality in this pile. And so stay true to yourself and don't imitate anyone when it comes to how they do things in this situation. Because while it's awesome to learn from other people always, your reading here is guiding you to stay true to who you are, though. Perhaps you already got it. Perhaps you already have it. And so when you stay true to yourself and stay calm, it's not about how you express yourself or what position to take or what body language to do or this or that or the other, whatever you are trying to explore here. Your guidance is saying stay calm, stay true to yourself, and that connection, interconnection between you and others in this situation will just happen normally. Stay true to yourself, be who you are because you're the epitome of that, and just simply be calm. That's it. To apply that, however, you need to have the risk. You need to go outside your comfort zone. You need to take at least that initial risk of putting yourself into that situation. How else would you see it? And how will you find out who you really are and get outside of your mind? Unless you jump into that tunnel. That's the tunnel of change. It's the very tunnel where we initially are so afraid of something. It's like think of death as the most thing we are all afraid of. But we find out who we are, we get to be free, we experience love, eternal love, and we get back into the real reality. And so it's exactly like that. It is that tunnel, that doorway that will take you to who you really are. Finally, unleashing your power, your charisma, and these removing once and for all these limiting beliefs that may have been holding you back for so long. Put yourself out there when it comes to this situation and remind yourself that the whole key in this is to remain calm. And don't try to distract yourself by being anyone else or seeing how anyone else is doing it, but to just simply be you, because you will be so surprised to see that the you is exactly the example we gave of the most beautiful girl in the world being taken to Hollywood, and the makeup artists are like, no, actually, this is weird. We think we shouldn't touch anything. It just should be as it is. And just a quick disclaimer, as I said, I'm not against anything. I'm not with or against. I'm with everyone doing what they love and what's best for them. But that was just an example to show you the energy that I'm seeing in your cards. And you know what I just heard in my mind? Smooth operator, smooth operator. It's funny, I haven't even heard this song in like forever. And it suddenly hits, perhaps because of smooth conversation. Smooth operator. I think you're gonna find out just how smooth you're gonna be. And you know, the song is about how someone was able to capture and break many hearts. I feel like it's exactly what it's saying in your reading. As you stay true to yourself and stay calm and get into this situation, people are gonna like be charmed by you. They're gonna go, like, you're gonna capture people's hearts for sure. So whatever this situation is about, my dear pile number 2, please stay true to yourself. Please stay calm and please take the risk. You will find a part of you that maybe you haven't even experienced before in that very area that is scaring you. And you're meant to hear this right now because perhaps you're ready for it now, or you're going through a difficult situation. I'm so curious, what is this picture? Let's take a look at the guidebook, number 6. What is this a depiction of? Perhaps could give us another message that I'm not noticing here. She-goat bestiary. It's cool that we opened it, actually, because with charming speaker here, it says you can speak well if your tongue can deliver the message of your heart. So that really confirms about staying true to yourself, speaking from the heart, being calm, and really smooth conversation. One good conversation can shift the direction of change forever. I feel like you do one smooth conversation in this direction, and your whole conversation in this area will change forever. It's like if you have a public speaking, you do that one time, you stay calm, and that will change your destiny forever, because you'll be able to do one after the other, after the other, after the other. Okay, so finally, before we go, I want to quickly get your guidance on, since this is the toughest part right there, how are you guided to throw yourself out there? Maybe I get to even find out a little bit more about what situation this reading is talking about for you. So, how are you guided to throw yourself into this situation, to face it, to come out of your comfort zone? Thank you. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, and 4. How are you guided to do that, since obviously this is the hardest part? Yeah, that's better. So you have, wow, the Wheel of Fortune. Look, we've got a spirit ancestor here. I think you are so lucky because, yeah, Wheel of Fortune. You're very fortunate because maybe you come from a line of ancestors who were charming, good communicators. There's that energy. You're already fueled with that energy. You definitely come from an ancestor line that's really good with their words, charming, popular, something like that. And you've got the Devil card. You know, the Devil cards is limiting beliefs. It shares the exact energy of the Eight of Swords. Huge limiting beliefs that have been tying you down. And some limiting beliefs are there, since we're taking a look at the Devil card, are there because they're feeding in another way something that is important to you, that is keeping you hostage. You know how it's like when you want to get rid of a certain habit or a certain fear, but at the same time, this habit or fear is feeding something else that you enjoy. Or because you desire something so much, because you desire something so much, it could be the very thing that is making you timid in this situation. Okay. You've got the Five of Wands. I'm glad we opened these cards. And you've got the Two of Swords. I feel like you've got your face stuck to the wall. Is that the expression? Or your back against the wall. In any case, I feel like you genuinely don't know how to jump into this. You know, having your back against the wall forces you to take action because you can't get any more back. But seeing this figure with their face against the wall, it makes me think that they don't want to face this. because they know perhaps the result, and so they're refusing. I feel like there is a total refuse, like an absolute refuse to put yourself out there, like absolute refuse to put yourself on stage or whatever this is, or to have that conversation with your manager, whatever this is. There is here, in terms of your guidance, an absolute refusal. And your guidance on the other side is that the refusal is there because without realizing, maybe, there is a desire that is fuming all of this. That's the real reason that has you have your face against the wall. An unhealthy desire. You don't lack the skills or anything. There's really nothing wrong with the situation except the root cause of it, and that's a huge desire that is currently competing against you achieving this. What's the desire? Perhaps that you must be clapped for, or you must be loved for everything that you say, or that you must not say anything wrong, or that it must go right, else what? When you unchain yourself from this great need of it having to be a specific way that you want, it will be your ultimate freedom in becoming who you are meant to be and shining bright in this situation. Remove that desire, and that is by being okay with yourself 1,000%. That's the only way. That it will not always go the way that you are thinking or needing it to go, because at the end of the day, this is an unrealistic expectation. Think about the most popular people in the world. I don't know. Think of anyone. Google their name and you will have people treating them like gods and others thinking they're the worst thing that ever happened, thinking they're silly, thinking they're stupid, thinking they're whatever, not understanding why everyone is obsessing about them. And that's life. And being okay with that, whatever this need is, the minute you mentally unchain your expectations from the result in which this will go, the minute you will be absolutely free. And instead of jumping into the fire, you'll walk gracefully into the fire, shining bright as who you are. Be okay with that end result is your ultimate guidance, because remember, you're a fortunate person in this area. You've had it from one ancestor after the other, you've got this. You're a smooth operator. And so remove the desire, remove the fear, which will remove the fear. And there you go. You will go through this beautifully because you're the shining star. And my dear pile number 2, this is exactly what I see as the message that you need to hear today. I wish you the best of luck in this situation. And if you've enjoyed your reading, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a reading that I upload. And my dear pile number 2, I'll catch you in the next reading. Bye! Hi pile number 3, welcome to your reading. Today we're taking a look at a message that you need to hear right now. What you need to hear right now, to be specific. Okay, so your crystal is the beautiful sunset Labradorite, and if you've your significator card is the green Wax, before I say what I wanted to say. And if you've picked your piles using your zodiac signs, then in that case, the signs for this pile are Capricorn, Scorpio, Gemini, and Gemini. today's three zodiac signs. Welcome to your reading, guys. If these are not your zodiac signs, as I always remind you, please don't worry about it. It's just another way for others to pick their piles as well. Follow your intuition, and if later you feel drawn to checking your zodiac sign pile as well, please feel free to do that as well. Also, all right. So this is how we're going to do your reading today. We'll take a look at the center card and see the 4 sides that it's offering us. So first of all, this is what your card looks like. On the first side, oh, look at that number, 55. Is it a great time for change for you? Perhaps. So on one side, it says, find a purpose. On the next side, it says, birth of a new idea. Wow, pile number 1 had something close to that. So if after you're done with your reading, you want to check out pile number 1, I highly recommend it. And you've got instinctive awareness on the third part of your square. And on the last side, you've got uncomplicated. Very, very interesting. I think I'm going to love your reading. Let's check out the first side, finding a purpose. You have the Hierophant and you've got the Kanaz rune. Wow. I mean, the Hierophant is the illuminator, he's the teacher. It's interesting that you get here the Kanaz rune, the rune of illumination and knowledge. In any case, let's continue and find out what the rest of the message is. On the side of birth of a new idea, you've got the Hermit with the star figure. You have the rune Othala. Okay. Illuminating a community. Whoa, that's gonna be so cool. All right, instinctive awareness. You've got, oh, that's the figure from the World card and the Hermit. And then you've got the Othala rune. Still works. Illuminating a society, the Othala rune, a community, family. So you've got the 8 of Cups in instinctive awareness, with the background of the 8 of Pentacles, I must say. This is a card of mastery. And you can see how each cup gets better by time. The mastery. How he's learned from the losses, the feedback. All right. You have the Awaz rune. All right. I feel like the things that didn't go right was meant to protect you. Okay, I'll explain once we get there. And finally, on the side of uncomplicated, you've got the 2 of Pentacles and you've got the Dagaz rune. It is the rune of transformation. No wonder you have 5-5 here. Oh my God. You are going through a transformation also. You know why? Because 7 plus 2 is 8. And 8 in numerology is the transformation. It's the house of Scorpio, the 8th house. And 5-5 is change. So there's change, there's transformation happening. And you can see that perhaps things were still for a very long time. Maybe you weren't grasping the lesson, the illumination here, that the universe was trying to show you in this difficult situation. I feel with the Angel of Temperance being stoned here, it's presenting lack of movement. You were in place. You weren't budging. Nothing was budging. You can also see it in the symbolism of the card, with the spiders building their nest around something so stable. So is this a job with finding purpose? Maybe you are in What's up with the cards telling everyone today to find their purpose? Oh my God. So perhaps, with the energy of the Lionsgate, if you're watching this now, there is this collective change in people, maybe? I don't know. But I'm delivering your message to you. This could be talking about several things. Maybe you were in a specific position for years, that it's almost as if you were etched into the chair, or not moving or budging from this chair. And it could have been stable. It's so stable, the spiders started building their their webs, spider webs. So it's kind of like it was, you're doing well, but you stayed where you are for a long time. And I feel like at the same time with the stones, this is talking about how things weren't moving either in your life. And they weren't moving because the universe wasn't budging, because the universe was trying to make you see something. With the Hierophant, the minute you got illuminated, the minute you've learned about this, the cup fell, something started moving. And the cups are emotions. Maybe it's sparking your purpose. Something happened recently that brought this fire within, ignited this fire within, and it's now slowly moving you towards your purpose. Something must have happened recently in your life to spark that energy back into your heart. Like, let's say, for example, you are a great artist. You are a musician, for example. And that part was absolutely forgotten. Once you start climbing the career ladder, maybe it wasn't feasible to do it back then. Or you, with the Hierophant, maybe you wanted to be a teacher. You're so passionate about teaching something. In any case, you are a creative person. It's endless. Something happened recently. Look at the cup that budged and fell, and it's in color now. Something happened recently that made it realistic. Like you grounded it somehow because of the red floor here. Something moved. Maybe you've incorporated some of your skills into your job and people liked it. Like, for example, if you are an artist and you work in the marketing department, for example, you designed something and everyone recently went ballistic about it. And so a spark happened, also an awakening happened to that energy as you were having so much fun doing it, bringing that innate talent out. And you now are starting to reconsider how you can incorporate it more realistically into your life. Another example could be maybe because of your job, you are now so well connected, interconnected to so many people, and you met someone who can give you who gave you a glimpse into how to apply this creative, emotional talent that you have through a doorway, inspired you to rethink it again. Something must have happened here. Maybe it's about to happen. Although I'm gonna trust my intuition. Something re-sparked, reignited this love for something within you back again. And although for a very long time you felt like you had your hands tied, something is starting here for you, and I love that for you. Sunset Labradorite. You're slowly but surely ending a long day, a long journey in something in your life, and getting into that transformative tunnel, just like a cocoon, that time of the cocoon, and you will come out of the other side holding that dream in your hands. And not just that, you're going to be such an inspiration for many others to follow suit. This makes me think, maybe you're going to be a pioneer with the hermit here. The hermit. You're going to be a pioneer. This is the world figure. You might even be a pioneer to the whole world in how something could be done. Perhaps due to the very experiences that kept you in place for a long time. Could be the very unique way. Or maybe you just have a very unique talent and you're gonna be the leader, the pioneer in something. Believe me, pile number 3, you're going to be the pioneer for many others. This can't be a coincidence there. But before we continue your reading, I know that there's a tunnel here. Let's read what this green wax is saying as your significator card and see a message for you. The color green is soothing and at the same time invigorating, and the third path spirits find themselves free to walk or effortlessly run over the hills and through the valleys of the summerlands. I feel like this is reminding me of heaven. The rich green is as nourishing as a meal. But when the spirits want to rest, they will find food and drink set out in the many small temples on the way, which are temples of the soul, not for the supplication to any god, unless any of the spirits have a particular need to see them relating to a deity. Behind the building, tall cypress trees raise their foliage to the skies, while on the horizon stand a range of mountains, their peaks already catching the evening light, while the spirits still enjoy the balmy summer breeze that ruffles the grass and meadow flowers. What a beautiful scene. Possible interpretation: when was the last time you had fun spontaneously with dancing, storytelling and laughter, warmth and camaraderie? I feel like that genuine fun creativity, and I highly recommend pile number 1. You're going to get so much perspective there in the cards. Parties and dances on earth are often enjoyed only to the extent that the alcohol flows freely and sometimes contain more than a hint of cruelty and shadow. Shadow elements. You know what I just got hit with? This idea of not waiting for something to happen to enjoy something, but to enjoy the journey itself. It's like not waiting for heaven to enjoy heaven, but why not until you go one day, enjoy it here and have every day being your heaven for you. It's like, why are you, for example, waiting for the weekend to come to finally have the fun when you can have in the journey, have fun every single day? What else? Why wait until your dreams come true to enjoy the energy? Why don't you, as much as possible, try to enjoy it every day? I'm so sure about this message now, that other element that is seen in your reading. So we've got 2 elements here. Oh, that you're probably not enjoying in life. 2 elements here. The element of enjoying every day and not waiting for something to happen to enjoy that energy. And the element of following your purpose. So let's get back to where we left off before we looked at the card. Do you see how, starting from now, your path is evergreen? Your path is so abundant and green. Something has ignited within you these days, and it has to do with following your passion. Birth of a new idea. You are guided these days to think of a way on how you can pursue the very thing that you're good at and love. And you might already be saying, but I've done this before, it's not realistic, I can't do it. Absolutely. Your reading is saying something has changed, because remember when we said where you are gave you the connections leading up to the idea that where you are and the experiences that you've gone through today made you a very different person. Your learnings, your connections, maybe even your resources or the respect or reputation with the Hierophant, knowledge, many things have changed than the very time when you first thought in your early life maybe to pursue that passion. Back then, it may not have been feasible or possible, perhaps, for you. But now, your reading is saying things have changed. Look around you. This is different this time. And the way you can apply this is also very different than the way you may have been seeing it previously. Just follow along. It may not be perfect yet, and we'll talk about that in a moment. It may not be exactly how you want to do it yet, but that's okay, because it's designed for you to first pioneer something that is done in a different way before you reach your destination. And perhaps this pioneering will give you the popularity and attention with the world figure that will eventually help you to do it in the very way you've envisioned it a long time ago, before you were convinced that this cannot be done and it was maybe naive. Things are about to change for you in a very, very different way than before. What an exciting reading. Let's now, that we've had a good look, explore at what you're guided to do exactly. First of all, you're guided to study this, to plan it, to think wisely about it. But don't dismiss this passion. Treat it as a project you were given to as a manager, where you would initially think, that's not possible. Your company was saying, well, that's why we got you, make it happen. Like you taking on a challenge, and you're guided to genuinely give it a look. Think about it. Because with where you are now at life, with the knowledge that you have and the connections that you have, you will be able to take that passion and for now birth a new creative idea in how you can apply this passion. Maybe not yet in the way that you want, but it's meant to be designed this way because you will be a pioneer, giving way for others to do it in this a different way. Maybe this way is healing for others. Maybe this way is meant to help others in your same situation follow suit and find themselves as well. Because it's one thing to be the lucky one to find your passion and be able to do it freely, which we see a lot of people are lucky. Like we see famous musicians who are just lucky to be super popular and be paid well for it. Or be hired by NASA to be the astronaut that you always wanted, and so on. And so these are just few people in the world who can pursue their passions that easily. And it may not be so easy for most people, I would say. And so this is why it's so vital, it seems, that you're going by this phase, because you are opening a gateway for so many people. It's just like the Lionsgate portal, a time of great change for everyone, especially this year. And you are one of the pioneers who will open this gateway, at least in this area, in this creative area, for so many others to follow suit. How is this going to happen? Refocus back on your purpose, on that passion, on that fire, and genuinely study it. Think well. Don't you have things that could be different these days? Don't you have maybe connections or resources or some different knowledge that you have now, that life has opened up for you, that you can realistically, with the root chakra, actually bring it to life? That is the question you are guided to think about. Because if you just give it way, a new idea will be birthed. And boy, is this the idea that the universe was keeping you stuck in place for, to birth, and because you could open any other door. It's kind of like, put this person in this place because that's how it's going to come out. It's like someone who's not finishing a great novel and the aliens capture him and they say, right, you're not coming out of the spaceship until you finish this novel. And now this great writer has to finish this novel and goes back down. I feel like you were feeling this energy of staying stuck and put in place to follow your spiritual guidance, to follow suit, to make that magic happen, which is alchemy in the temperance figure, to finally be illuminated about, but I could, do it this way. And it's starting off, as I said, this way, with something open your eyes. I'm so curious, what happened these days that opened your eyes towards this old passion? Strength card. It's that harsh situation you're in. Really? Yeah, some harsh situation forced you to tap into that energy, it seems. King of Pentacles. Some of you were tight on a deadline that was going to get you a lot of money, maybe. And so you had to put pressure on yourself. You were in such a stuck situation. You were in the lion's mouth and you were like, okay, well, let me do this myself. So that's one thing. I almost feel like you were forced to get in touch with this. That's what happened here. Forced to get in touch with this. It was the strength that you had to find your grounding again, the red, to have something that is like a dangling carrot from the universe. You wanted to achieve something, and yet you were in such a pickle, and you had to use this gift to get out of it. This is what I'm seeing in your cards. Okay. Or maybe for some of you it's about to happen. Once that phase has been created, I do see a major shift going on. Do you see the cups here? As you are moving along in this new path, you're mastering how to do something. Maybe you're even being called a master. But notice, this is the 8 of Cups card. This is the Awaz rune, which means death. And so slowly but surely, you are ending an old life, walking away gradually from an old life and moving towards your new reality that you love, your passion. And so this is talking about how this is going to be your path, instinctive awareness. It's something for you that you will naturally do. You will be slowly, little by little, walking away from this old life, or maybe even this one, and getting your feet dug into the very reality that you love. You will one day end all of maybe the work or the path that you don't want or don't like or feel frozen in, to living the world and the reality that you want. Mind you, this is your significator card. It talks about how you're going to also be living a life of abundance as you follow this path, which is happening right now for you. as you master how to do this energy, and you've gone along a different path to begin with because it was the one who can take you to that specific one shown in your cards at the moment. Now, until then, as this is all happening these days, your reading is saying with uncomplicated. This is not hard. This is a path that is allowing you to experience this heaven now and not having to experience it when one day it happens. This is a reading that is showing you that these days you will start to experience the very two things that you couldn't enjoy previously. You're going to start experiencing more of that creative energy in your soul and that success that comes with it and the pioneering that you are opening up for so many people. And also these days, you're going to start enjoying your day-by-day life, enjoying a piece of that heaven or that reality or that end goal every single day, and not just when you get there. And that is the huge transformation that you will start seeing in your life that wasn't there previously. It is truly a time of change for you. And I wanted to say something here. Oh yes, that you are these days getting into that tunnel, just like the cocoon. The cocoon melts down the old Capricorn and starts creating that beautiful new creature that's about to fly in such a graceful and beautiful way. And so these days, you are getting into that tunnel. But lucky for you, this tunnel is so much better than what life felt like before. Because in that tunnel, maybe you're not seeing things yet, but you're going to start enjoying your day-to-day life as you remove away all of the old energy of your past life. And you're going to start enjoying that passion that you couldn't enjoy for a long time. And once you are out of this tunnel, it is the world of abundance. It is the world of popularity, like a huge word of mouth worldwide by pioneering this. And it is the world that you've always been dreaming about in every way, shape, or form that you wanted to get to. That tunnel for you is going to be so much fun. It's a piece of this heaven every day until you get to your heaven. Okay, and very quickly, I just want to do a small cheat here. I want to help you with this birth of a new idea. Are you guided to maybe an assistance to this new idea? Or are you just meant to find it on your own? We'll find out. Any assistance on this idea, direction, or anything for pile number 3, please? Two of Cups. Do you see the cup that's constantly dropped? Wow. It's like pick up that dropped cup. Because you'll find harmony this time in it again. All right, so the idea. Whoa, Queen of Pentacles. You're a star at something. You're really good at something. Carve it out. Carve time out for it in your day to do it, perhaps. 3 of Swords with the Magician. You were given a lot of pain previously and you couldn't manifest it. All right, so back to the question. And that is your initial guidance on how to move towards this idea these days. You already have something that you can carve this idea out of. Like what we saw here, actually. The cards already talked about this. Exactly. How did I miss that? You already found out this day, or will be finding out these days, how you were pushed into a situation making you bring out that creative passion in you to manifest something important to you at the stage, maybe even money. So you've already figured out, or will be figuring out very soon, how to carve this into your current reality, your current position, your current situation. And from there, you're guided to pick that up. Don't leave it on the floor. Don't walk out. This is an opportunity, in fact, for you to work harmoniously with this energy. The Three of Swords is a card of pulling at the strings of one's own heart, causing unnecessary pain. But the Magician is a skilled figure. I feel like this is saying the end of your pain will be in picking back the pieces of what you're really skilled at. Yeah, it's going to happen naturally these days for you. Once it does, pick it up. It will relieve you from the pain that you're already going through in life. This is your new path of great abundance and heavenly living, my dear pile number 3. This is exactly what I see in your reading. I wish you the best of luck in this new situation. If you want more information, you will definitely find it out in pile number 1. And my dear pile number 3, thank you so much for tuning in. Wishing you the best of luck. And if you've enjoyed your reading, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a reading that I upload. This really does help out. And my dear pile number 3, I'll catch you in the next reading. Bye. Hi, pile number 4. Welcome to your reading. Today, we're taking a look at what you need to hear right now. But before we begin, let me very quickly introduce your pile to you. Your crystal is the beautiful Rainbow Aura Quartz. Your significator card is the Rainbow Bridge. And of course, if you've picked your pile using your zodiac signs, then in that case, the signs for this pile are Aquarius, Pisces, and Libra. Welcome to your reading. If these are not your zodiac signs, as I always remind you guys, please don't worry about it. It's just another way for others to pick their piles as well. Follow your intuition, and if you're guided later on to check your zodiac sign pile as well, please feel free to do that as well. These are different ways, and yours are valid and as valid as the others. Okay, so let's now take a look at what you need to hear. This is how I've planned to do your reading today. And let's reveal the focus card and see the 4 sides of the messages. So first off, this is what your card looks like. And look at that eagle. Right, so you've got positive alignment on one side, then deeply driven on the second. Very interesting. Third is self-sufficient. Ooh, I love these keywords. And finally, you've got fearless. I love these keywords for you. Let's see what it is that you need to hear. So you've got the 2 of Wands. And you've got the Berkana rune. Isn't it interesting that on one side it says the Death Valley, and on the other side this is the Birth rune, the fertility rune. So one thing may be ending for another to start. Let's see. On the side of deeply driven, you've got the 10 of Cups. Wow. Okay. And you've got the Yera rune. Really nice. I mean, the harvest with the 10 of Cups. This is definitely talking about how you will get more than what you want or something, because that's the harvest card. Right, with self-sufficient, you've got the Page of Cups. And the Sowolio rune. Very cool. It's almost like follow your guidance. But also, the Sowolio is victory. It's not just guidance. Very cool. Okay. Enlightenment and victory. All right. You've got the King of Swords, as well as the Rider rune. I feel like this is talking about doing something intelligently. Where do we begin? I think I need to like move them just a little bit so it's not so crowded and you can see it there. Okay, so what am I seeing? I'm seeing an invitation to choose another path, the rainbow path, the rainbow bridge. Perhaps it is so difficult to end the path that you're in at the moment and align with something that you could be deeply driven towards. You won't believe me today that most of today's reading, not all of it, but most of it was so focused, and I said this in another pile, on you guys realigning yourselves with the true path. I don't know what's going on. Perhaps it is the great energy of the 888 this year, the great transformation, the great portal of abundance. But if you watch most of the piles, you will be surprised with the written words, not just what I see, but what is actually written on the cards. So yeah, you are being invited to start realigning into a new direction with the Berkana rune, and you birthed a new beginning. Why? Because in this new direction, not only are you going to be extremely happy with the Ten of Cups, this is a card of being elated. This is like ultimate happiness. Someone who's got everything that is dear and special to them close. So not only are you going to be so happy, but with the Yera rune, you're going to harvest all of the hard work. You're going to yield abundant harvest, exactly, from that new direction. It might, with the Death Valley, it might feel like you're CS, I don't know if we can say that word, you're unaliving your path. You're unaliving your path, like this is crazy. But your reading is telling you that, see, it says fearless, to not be afraid, and to start realigning yourself towards the rainbow bridge that will help you cross from point A, where you are now, to point B, of where the real abundance and the real happiness is. And I feel like your reading will show you today how you can apply this intelligently. And it's interesting. The first thing that I am seeing in the third side is self-sufficient. It talks about, I feel like in your pile, because the other piles was talking more about, hey, take it slow, it's how you do it, it's not what you do. Here, I'm seeing something so crazy. This is like CS, this is like, end this path. Like, be bold here. Be bold, end this path. But here's the thing. You are guided on how to do this intelligently in your specific situation. And that's why I wouldn't recommend you check the other pies unless you feel drawn to it. Then you're getting your sophisticated message in your way and you will understand it. But I am seeing here something about pretending to be there, although you're not really there. I'm not telling you guys in any way, shape, or form to pretend like you're working and not working. That's absolutely not what I'm saying. And I'm 1000% sure This is not what your cards are saying. But to put your message in a clearer way, it is advising you to do things strategically. Is it talking about not fully disappearing as you end something? Or not taking, maybe this is like who? Like doctors, for example. It's like, it's okay to end what you have because you already have the certificate. Like, you can't take doctor from someone. You can't take engineer from someone. They already have their license. Or so what I think, as far as I understand. You know what I mean? So for some people, it's like, don't be afraid. You can always come back for it. Perhaps that's a message for some of you. How is it being there but not being there for, like, what are other examples? Some people, yes, I know some jobs where you can take a long vacation without having to resign or leave your job. They're like unpaid time off, and they are very fortunate to leave for a year or 2 or 3. So for some of you, perhaps this is why your reading is so drastic and different. You've got that type of energy here in your reading. Somehow you can leave without fully, like, you don't have to be present physically, but you can still be there, kind of thing. Maybe some of you are lucky. Maybe you have a business and a team that could continue to run it for now. You don't have to be there. What are other examples I can think about to help guide you better? Maybe minimal effort. Oh, meeting the basic needs of this path. Like, here you go, done this, done that, all good, all good. Something like that. You, if you're drawn to this pile, there's something about you not having to be entirely there. And to not be afraid of using that privilege that you have. And to just cut it out. That path that is already like deteriorating your emotions, deteriorating your soul, your everything. It's like you feel with the Death Valley here, like you're dying slowly every single day in this direction. And you are guided with the Rider rune, which has to do with journey, movement, and also rhythm, creating some form of rhythm in that place that you are in right now, like making some movements for some. This is an invitation for some movement. If you are needing to make the bare minimum, like create a rhythm for it, a system for it. It could be system, like systemize it. Yeah, automate it, systemize it. Definitely. How did I not think about that? For many of you, you can automate some things, systemize some things where you don't have to be present there most of the time. That's what I'm seeing for this pile. And to start crossing to the other side, because for you, this is absolutely doable. And you can start aligning to that which you will absolutely love, and that which you are very driven towards, and that ultimately that will bring you the biggest harvest. Right. How are you guided to do that? It's very clear. The third side here is talking about being self-sufficient. So this is basically saying that through balance again, or you will find success in being able to do that by taking initiatives to choose that which you love over that which you are maybe attached to. So self-sufficient in that case says, for you, for this pile, This is absolutely doable if you are self-sufficient until you get the harvest from the other direction. Because in your pile, you're very lucky. It seems like this direction can begin right away for you. You know, the Rainbow Bridge, it's the bridge where the gods as well as the heroes, only these take to get to the heavens, at least in Norse mythology. So I feel like you're one of the lucky ones. You're one of the lucky ones that can shift directions like that and have all the results that maybe more with the 10 of Cups than what you're imagining. But it will take a bit of time. And so within this time frame, you are being guided to be self-sufficient, to choose the matters of the heart, to choose what you're deeply driven towards, more than maybe the luxury or the extra things that you want in your life. It is kind of like do with what you have. Is it like save up, for example, is what I can guess. Save up a little bit and choose to live with what you need only for now, in order to attain the life that you want. That's definitely in your reading here. Like choose to be more self-sufficient, and this will be your sailing tool to the other side. Did you see there's a huge book with a pen? Is this bookkeeping? It's like if you are so careful with your spending or how you use your resources, maybe it's talking about time. It may not be self-sufficient, could be like time. Whatever resource, to use that resource well so that it allows you to move in the direction that you want, to be reliant on yourself. And so do with what you have to get to the other side. Imagine yourself on a journey on a ship, and you're packing some food, your clothes and everything, and you know that it's going to take maybe a month, for example, from this destination to the other, that bridge, and you're not suffering. You're on a nice journey, you're on the sea, you're enjoying everything. Maybe you don't have the everyday luxuries, but when we are on a vacation and things like that happen, we enjoy that experience. So it's like enjoy the creative ways in which you can be self-sufficient until you reach your destination. Because in this pile, you're really lucky. This journey is nothing to be afraid of. You can absolutely do it and get to the other side if you are self-sufficient and you plan for it well. How are you guided? Because here is where you might be having a lot of questions. Right, I get the advice, but how can I apply it? So let's see how you're guided to apply this advice, this strategic, smart advice of being there but not being there. What is this, please, for the collective? If you already understand, I'm sure the cards will help you as well. But if you don't understand, all these cards, finally this one. Trusting the process. Oh, this one as well. Okay. Fine. I'm just going to trust. I was only planning for like a very few cards, but they kept popping up, and I trust that it's there to help you answer. In fact, I'm guided to put two next to each other. So, Page of Pentacles and the Strength card. And I feel like this will answer individually. So we've got how many messages? 1, 2, 3, 4, and an extra card. Maybe it's like a message on its own. So, remove the mask, the Strength card, and the Page of Pentacles. We're answering the question of how can you be there but not there. Mask. Oh, they both have an element of pretending to be someone, but they're not. So, what would this say? I'm definitely seeing this card mimic the first idea that I got. So it's very simply for some of you, not having to be there, like automation. It's like a mask that you put on, just like your lab coat as a doctor. It's something that you can always come back to. You know, you put on the outfit and or the uniform, and bam, you can always come back. So automation or always come back, very clear for the first, as a first one. It's like you can, a Page of Pentacles is something that you can always come back to. All right, you've got the Six of Pentacles. This is one side robot, one side human. Very interesting, this Six of Pentacles. And you know, the Six of Pentacles is a card of assistance. Some of you are guided to use more technology programs that can take so many of this effort off of your back. Allow technology to assist you. Along with the Seven of Cups. You see, it's always about how you can be viewed differently. Do you see? You know, it says circus here. So some of you could be in the entertainment field. So I don't know how being seen differently here can, what is this saying? Because this is definitely not talking about AI. I personally don't. That's how I feel. Don't support this. When it comes to entertainment, but that's just me. I don't know what this is. What is that? It's like using technology. Oh, the Seven of Cups is a card of illusion as well. Illusion. So allow assistance. Like you part of you obviously gotta be there, but it would give the illusion that you've done it from the very beginning, but you don't have to do it from the very beginning. You know, like a very famous chef. He who's tight in time. He doesn't have to begin the process from washing, although it's very intimate to do all of these things. I'm just trying to say, going back to how you're like to be of being there but not being there. You don't have to like wash the vegetables, cut the little pieces, buy all of these needed recipe ingredients, and so on and so forth. The chef can just come for the preparation process itself. So for some of you, I'm seeing like do the things that which is what I saw for some of you, like the minimum, the things that you really have to do. It has to be you, and the rest allow technology to help you. Okay? It's funny how the cards are really answering this. You've like in detail. You've got the Six of Wands, which is a card of success and victory, which is what we see here. But anyways, it's like being there but not there. Six of Wands and the Five of Swords. Again, the many faces, the different faces. The many faces and the different faces. You seem to me like someone who does many things. You've got different... I don't want to say facade, but you put on different hats. Yeah, you put on different hats. And here it's Jack in the Box. Unexpected success. I feel like you're battling so many things on your own for some of you. So that's another clear message I didn't think about. Some of you are tackling everything on your own. Perhaps you are a perfectionist who doesn't believe in anyone doing it like you. But I see that you will be pleasantly surprised about the type of success you can have if you just allow others, and maybe through guidance, proper training, letting them unleash and show you what they can do, not having to do everything on your own, because that's brutal. So that's definitely talking about a team, how Jack in the Box, how team members can surprise you. So for some of you, it's like, stop trying to do everything on your own. Be there only when needed. Allow your team to show you and surprise you with what they can do, especially with good training, because the Six of Wands is a card of also assistance. So by generous assistance, you can see how this team can do most of this tiresome work for you in this old direction, or maybe in the new direction as well. No, it's ending the first one, or maybe it's maybe it's talking about, for some of you, this is okay. Please take it how it resonates with you. Ending this right away, moving to the new direction. This is the how. Some of you being self-sufficient, because I know you're moving towards it. Some of you, it's allowing to train a team so that you can end where you are and get to your destination. Do know that it's a journey. Don't be afraid to take it. And some of you really need assistance and need to take yourself out of the picture more, unless we're with where you're needed, which is what we actually saw here. Some of you it's automation, some of you it's a team. Okay, and 8 of Pentacles. As well as the King of Wands. Mastery, King of Wands. Some of you, King of Wands and the 8 of Wands. Some of you can never lose, you're so lucky, you can never lose that place, because you've built a great reputation. Mastery of the 8 of Pentacles. King of Wands is power, also like the Queen of Wands in some aspect, popularity, seen as the best who can do something with the King of Wands. Viewed, this is like translates viewed as the master, and you can't lose ever that type of reputation. You can go away for so many years and come back as if you just left yesterday. You know who this reminds me of, for example? Rihanna. She hasn't released albums for years and years, and everyone's still asking, like, when are you coming? And she said, I'm here, don't worry, I'm coming back. So it's that type of energy. It's that reputation that simply cannot be taken from you. And I did get that idea, but I got it in the doctor's field. But it's like that. Doctor, reputation. Once you have that reputation, nobody can take it from you. So it's kind of like your place is reserved. Maybe you're not there, but that is definitely talking about, hey, your place is reserved. Maybe you are so successful in your company and your company would always take you back. You've built a good reputation there, and they're like, the doors are open. Whenever you want to come back, you can always come back. So some of you are lucky in this way. And finally, the 9 of Wands. The standing. You see how this figure is looking this way and this figure is looking that way? I'm thinking you think it would go one way, but it will go another way. I'm getting a crazy idea with this one, but it will, because the card is here, resonate with someone specifically listening. This is the energy of when you do one thing and you keep feeding it with the same actions, you believe that this is the right action, it gives you a specific type of result. But when you shift your actions, it could initially feel like, oh no, I'm standing in my own way, I'm blocking something. It might actually give you a far different result and much bigger result, something being counterintuitive than what you insisted it would give you. You know, sometimes when we care about something, we give so much effort and love and care and attention to it. And sometimes counterintuitively, when we're like, yeah, whatever, I'm done with this, and you walk away, that energy revives when you're not there. And it's like, oh no, wait, let me do this. And it just starts working for you. Sometimes you just gotta leave something alone. Don't touch it for it to actually work out for you. And that's not an applicable advice for everything, but that holds very true in some situations. And I'm seeing your guidance for some of you with what this means here, being there but not there, is sometimes you just gotta leave things alone. You've done everything possible in your hand. And sometimes you just want to leave it alone for now. Leave it cool down. And then come back. Or it will work for you. Surprisingly and counterintuitively. Just so when you leave it alone. In any case, your journey is a very lucky one than most of the piles I've seen today. And hello, pile number 4. What are we expecting? I love this pile. Your journey is far more graceful and very lucky. And this is no comparison. It's just an observation. And you're being guided not to be afraid. Don't be afraid. Do what is needed here. Just let it go. Leave. And move towards what you're deeply driven to do. During that time, make sure you're just self-sufficient and it's going to be okay until this, whatever it is you're deeply driven about, gives you. And boy, will it give you abundantly. And very quickly, let me read your rainbow bridge, that special place that not everyone gets to go to the heavens taking that rainbow bridge. What is it saying in your reading here as your final message before we wrap up? Oop, I just opened it. There we go. The rainbow bridge. It's saying, you might have thought when the souls reach these higher levels that nothing much needed to be done. But in the afterlife, each step takes the souls further up and further into awareness. Here they have reached what I'm calling the rainbow bridge, which allows them to pass over into the highest levels, into the very center of creation itself. Ooh, you're gonna love where you're going. And I feel like this is saying, oh, you're far from done. This is just the beginning here. It's like you're reaching higher levels of enjoyment, higher levels of passion, higher levels of things that you love. And don't think you've reached the destination, because that's just the beginning there. I feel like you're reaching places that really only unique people or special people or some type of lucky people get there. As the souls step onto this rainbow bridge, the music calls them over, and they can follow over or perhaps hang back as the levels of light and quality of sound may be too much for some in their present state. This is so funny. I feel like you're gonna reach some form of enjoyment and luxury in this level up that you're currently moving towards. All of the past things that used to eat life out of you and the old troubles that you had will be put to the side. This is a new level of enjoyment. It's like, do I listen to this or do I listen to that? Do I go to Paris or do I go to Milano? Do I eat this fancy in this fancy restaurant or do I eat in that fancy restaurant? Things like that. It's like, that pea is really bugging my back. Who put the pea in this mattress? Kind of energy. So you're really moving to a higher realm of living, so to speak. And you will enjoy this destination. Say goodbye to the old things that were eating at your soul. You're very lucky to be able to move there easily. It's just going to require to be mindful during that phase. And once you're there, that's just the beginning. There's more learning, there's more growing, there's more achievement, but more with the higher realms. It's more of you enjoying doing that and no longer having to do something. It's more wanting to do something. Pile number 4, I wish you the best of luck in this journey that you're getting into. This was your guidance and what you need to hear right now. Follow with what you're driven to do, and I can't begin to tell you where you're going. This was your reading. I truly hope you've enjoyed it, and if you have, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a reading that I upload. And my dear pile number 4, I'll catch you in the next reading. Bye!